Can you see me now? Can you hear me now? Yay! Oh my god! I put the music on so you know, like when you're going to clean. Oh my gosh, good morning, good morning! There is 11:11 for Barbie. Sheesh! So how much of this, guys, did you even hear? I kept on going and going and going, and that's kind of like explains so many things. Can you see me now? I guess you can hear, but I don't know if you're seeing me. Hi, Kelsey. Oh my god. Well, half of it is done. You're going to see it later, but just to let you know, I did Aries, I did Gemini, I did Leo, I did Sagittarius, I did Aquarius and Pisces, and I did one pick a card. So that's going to be really, really interesting kind of like stuff. So video's on now, you hear the stuff, you saw none of it. Oh my freaking god, I think I recorded it. So you know what, let me start uploading this recorded stuff, because otherwise people will complain. So this is going on. No, this actually is just continuation of everything, so I don't think it's going to even allow me, except it might not be recorded. So just give me a second, because that's what I hit recording, and that's when did you guys actually, you didn't hear me at all, and the entire time I was just talking to myself, I guess, right? That's why I was like, what are you talking? Where is Cat? Why are you asking this? I hope this Cat is a cam. I'm like, I'm here, I'm fine. Why do you think so? So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to click on start recording, and if you lose me, just let me know right away, because of Mercury retrograde I have to do it, right? And this is what created. So now I click this. Can you still hear me? Oh my god, oh my god. I just want to check also if I have those recordings that I was hoping to have. Oh, just give me a second. Man, as always, you see, I told you I get affected with early shadows. So let me just check if hopefully this actually recorded somewhere. Here we go. Where's the date? Nope, nothing got recorded. Oh no, something did. Oh, let me see. But, there's like some. Everything got recorded, so that's a good news. We are going to have it. So guys, if you're these signs, I'm so sorry to tell you, kind of like that, you'll just have to wait and kind of like see it. I don't want to give you the summary. It was kind of like very, very intense for Leo. It was very intense for Sagittarius, Aries to some extent. Gemini was really, really interesting. So just to let you know, Barbie, I can kind of like give you the stamps for it, because so Aries is 43, 31, and they were in this order, so I can tell you this as well. Don't worry, Barbie, we're going to fix it later. I'm going to do it. So Aquarius was first, Sagittarius was second, Pisces was third, Gemini was fourth, and Aries was fifth, and Leo was sixth. So guys, just want to tell you, everybody who was like so freaking patient, like I'm so proud of you. I don't think I would be this patient. You just waited like what, almost like over an hour for this. Bad YouTube, bad. And there's like no notification whatsoever on my end that something could be going wrong. Okay, So this one jumped in like when I did, who was the last one? Last one was Leo. This one jumped with Leo and kind of like wanted to kind of like be kind of like told. So there is a Scorpio. Before I get there, I was talking to you knitting yogi. I said, I'm glad that you see OA, and I saw the illusionist. That was really, really good. Thank you for the suggestion. I really enjoyed OA. I really have to say, it left me really, really good feeling. And Kyle, I was telling you, even if you don't have Netflix, this is virtual getting that free, what do you call it, month, and to watch it, because it's kind of like really good for all of us. Ooh, did you not hear me talking about cauliflower pizza? I was talking about it. Oh my god, you will see it. This is so crazy, knitting yogi. We are so connected. I was talking about how I invited a friend. I'm doing my cauliflower pizza. She was not impressed. But I don't know how much you heard it. It looks like none of it. But I trust you unless you kind of group together to make me feel that I'm crazy. But, you know, that's okay. If you're doing, oh, no, now it's selling to me. It's a new live. So I need to put the dots right next to this old one. That's right, and that's maybe what shut it down, because it was telling me not to timestamp. It was just telling me preview, and I didn't know why the preview was happening. Okay, so now I know. So it's a kind of completely different video. So it's almost like this one is starting. And let's do this. Scorpio at 6:36, and I don't know how they are going to do it and how much will be uploaded. I'm pretty sure going to be lots of complaints from the people who come and watch it later. Well, so be it. So be it. It happens. I'm sorry. Nobody's perfect, right? So Scorpio, let's just jump right in. Ooh, you're already getting two that want to jump out. King of Swords and Eight of Swords. Are you guys dealing with somebody who is a little bit apprehensive about the situation? Or who, let me see. Knitting yogi, you're going to really find, if you haven't heard me talking about cauliflower pizza, now hearing that you're doing it, that's absolutely hilarious. So basically what I was doing, I was using the cards, and I was using gypsy cards and runes this time around. So it was like really, really more encompassing, right? So yeah, guys, it's going to be really interesting. So King of Swords is always talking about very kind of like thought through action. It's almost like the opposite of what you are. You are not sort of like that, you're not a thinker. You're really one of the fixed signs. It's really, really important to kind of like explain that. But you generally really go with your gut feeling. And even something looks to be evident 100%, and your gut tells you the opposite, you're not going to go forward because of that highly intuitive abilities that you have. And this is exactly what will be happening. There's like somebody telling you, come on, there's like something that is self-evidented. You need to go in a certain direction. Something is really, really happening, right? And for once it's telling you your gut feeling and recognizing it, that somebody is telling you you cannot go, somebody is actually telling you you cannot go forward, and you are moving forward anyhow, and that's going to be the key. But you're moving forward with some kind of like level of sacrifice in a situation, because this Eight of Swords technically tells me that there are like still issues that need to be handled. It is about the situation where somebody still doesn't have final answers. They want to, but they're like stuck in a situation. So this card gift, for some reason, to me, it's very much like the Four of Wands. And let's get your rune here as well. Now, that gets interesting over here. So, now, wait, I'm missing, oh, this is a kitty right under my feet. I'm thinking like, okay, what did it drop? So this is really, really interesting, guys, over here, because the gift is reversed, and this rune is Kaunas, and it's a passion, it's insight, right? And that's exactly what I was telling you about. And the gift maybe simply means that somebody was trying to keep you patient and keep you kind of like believing and understanding something, because when this kind of like reverses, it kind of like talks about the loss of some kind of like kind, that something is not received, so it can be a gift or a lost inheritance or unexpected kind of like loss or death, right? So simply because of the pandemic can mean an ability to save money that you really, in order to move forward, and this also can talk about moving forward with some kind of like legal action, that you will lose ability to that you will lose ability to kind of like win, or you don't have enough money to do it. Something like that can actually really talk about it. Be very careful, because these two can talk about there is some kind of scam or blackmail that is really happening over here. So that's kind of like really important. So what I would say, guys, for you, you really need to check the strings attached, literally, right? Because she is wrapped up in a whole bunch of strings over here, and she has this blindfold. If she kind of like takes the blindfold off, she would see everything. So this time around, you're listening to your instincts, but your instincts are also kind of like pushing you in a situation that is going to get very tricky for you. But giving that this kind of like huge conviction that you have, you're still going to go forward. Be very careful, because something that you're going to get is going to be far beyond imperfect. I don't think it's going to bother you a tiny little bit. With this card, to me, it's always so positive. Look at this dancing. Look at everything happening. Maybe you simply are so focused on the end goal. And this kind of like is what we fixed signs have. When we want something, we are going to just like remove the mountains to find our way. But if we don't want something, we can be the laziest people around. It's kind of like the duality that really happens. So you're not counting on something, but you're just counting on a person in a situation. So as I said, you need to check the person, because the person is, or don't also blame the person, and don't also push this person, because I call it the protective box. When I see Eight of Swords, it's usually a situation that I see a lot with separation and somebody not being able or not being even willing to remove from their situation. So somebody saying, oh, I don't have the money, let's say, to buy healthy food. But then you realize they do have enough money if they just organize their budget differently, and you tell them, well, this is how you can do it, and they just don't want to absorb. The reason why they're not absorbing is not because they're stupid. It's just because right now they are so stuck where they are that they just cannot see even something that is a solution. So just keep that in mind, right? And that's really important here to see. And at least you guys are watching me, so it's kind of like, I hope you're still there. Did I lose anybody here, or you're still there, guys? I hope you are. So just say something. I'm not saying, oh, now I have 14 viewers, and that kind of like would make sense. Most people just gave up, I think, what's going on. So, cup of coffee. Thank you, Barbie. Okay, yes, because before I was like, guys, say something, please. I was typing up, nothing. Okay, so next one is Cancer. Cancer. And I'm really not sure how is YouTube going to present this video. That's going to be really interesting. See, preparing for the unexpected. It's a good thing that I've thought about it, because otherwise I would not have that stuff recorded. So Cancer, let's get your thingy here. Well, I'm not a poor thing. I feel bad for you guys. You're sitting there, right? Like you're doing nothing. You're like thinking what's happening to me. Meanwhile, I'm chit-chatting. I'm thinking, well, everybody's ignoring me today. Like nobody really wants to talk to me. I say, okay, that's fine. There are days like that, right? Like, I mean, my ego is a kind of healthy ego. It's normal. I can be sort of a doormat at times. So we have a Knight of Cups. We have a Queen of Cups reverse. Now, what's going on, guys? Queen of Cups, I think it's you. You got two more cards. You get the Empress and you get the Ace of Wands. Now, that's really interesting, because it looks to me there's going to be some kind of flirtation. There's like something that is going to... Somebody's probably trying to move forward with you, and you want none of it. There's like you're turning the back to this person, and this is really confusing. Like, maybe, and this person is actually really nice. He's like, and kind and romantic and offering all of these beautiful things. Maybe you're simply not open, quote unquote, for business. You're just not feeling that you want to date. It could be something like that, because the Empress to me, and that's very confusing, it is, but like to make it, put it in a kind of like perspective, it could be somebody from the past that maybe you've been around the block a few times and you just kind of like didn't really feel that kind of like this kind of like really really works, right? So that's something like that really can happen. So the Empress is always like about the Venus. It's about the feminine principle. It's very important for you, kind of like you're clearly almost like enjoying yourself, if kind of like, I have to be blunt with these cards. And then you have surprise, and then you have a doctor. Like, why do we have a doctor? Let me just get the rune. It's kind of like I get a really positive card, and then I get a doctor. Doctor always to me talks about depression. But then again, I'm dealing with Cancer. You guys get to be very, very moody. Ooh. And you have, that's Savello. That's the sun, right? So this is kind of like that disinfectant. Whenever I see runes, like some cards that are really, really positive, they kind of like almost like neutralize the negative cards over here. So somebody wants to put kind of like sunshine in your life, and you're not open. You're not willing to go in that direction, right? So I think this is literally, you are in your own way this entire week, because everything is done here. And I think by the end of the week, you're going to kind of like clue in into that. You're going to say, okay, you know what? I have to kind of like get out of my own way, because this card is just like a pathway to victory, if you wish. There's somebody coming who is right. Like, it couldn't be a better fit for you than Knight of Cups, right? Knight of Cups is generally kind of like a romantic kind of like prelude or something like that, but for you in particular, being a water sign, it's even kind of like more important. So now you have also the sun. So it's the water and sun. It's like a steam and sizzling kind of like stuff, and it's kind of expressing this glory and good fortune, which is kind of like connecting to this Cancerian kind of like thing, right? So the appearance of this is kind of like almost like affecting your fate, if you wish, right? Because as I said, this is something that will even undo harm. So even, let's say, if there is an accident and everybody freaking dies, like 10 cars in this accident, you will be the one saved. This is how positive this rune is, right? It signifies happiness and harmony. It doesn't have a negative effect, just like the sun card in tarot. It's always up, right? So even the sun at the sunset, it's always the sun, right? So this is really, really linked with human heart over here. It's considered a really, really good prospect and good omen for your love life, which means just like this Knight of Cups, it's adding this affection and banishing any coldness. So I wonder if, guys, here you have been through a situation that you're feeling very jaded when it comes to partners, right? That you just kind of like have an inability to trust at this stage, right? Because that would be the only explanation, because so many good things are happening. Somebody's putting you on a pedestal and you're saying nope, 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 right? Because this really talks about something unexpected. And this dude in this combination, or this person, if you're a man, could be a woman as well, somebody who is offering things unreservedly. They're literally understanding everything you're telling them, and they're still kind of like pushing through it, trying to win your heart. So you guys just need to open yourself, because this one can go all the freaking way, right? This is kind of like rewarding relationship. This one is huge, huge rune. This one is a huge gypsy card, and this is like that stuff. So you just simply need to work on yourself. And I really think this answer is in this doctor card, and it talks about this emotional well-being. It talks about a healing of something in the past, maybe an ability to trust people. Maybe, like sometimes we want to leave them, you think somebody's too good for you, but they're really, really true, right? So there is like a huge loyalty in a situation. There are people who are sensible. There are people who are really understanding you, who really, really want to help. Or maybe this can also talk about, let's say at work, that you also feel that, sometimes we all have a little bit of PTSD where things happen and then we react negatively, or this is called tower in tarot, and you react negatively even though maybe the situation is completely innocent. So I would say, if you're in a situation that you're feeling down, or this could be emotional, this could be crying, this could be even demanding things that are unreasonable, go to your family, speak to your family members. They'll be able to calm you down and shift you around, because the Empress is telling me that you kind of do get this potential to feel potent, to feel powerful, and kind of like go into kind of like the direction, but still there's like something not starting. So be very, very careful about that, because most of us wait for circumstances like that. They're offered to you and you're like, yeah, no, I will not drink this cappuccino unless it's made out of gold, and unless it has a color that was never seen before, and unless it's served to me by a midget who has 6 legs, right? So come on, guys. You have something that most of us want, so don't be a drama queen over here. And doors, I did doors, madame. I did doors. I even drew all the cards for everybody. I didn't drew the cards for moderators. It's going to be in the end. So, oh my gosh, this is going so long. So I still have Taurus, Virgo, and Libra, and Capricorn to go. So let's go with this. Sorry, Barbie. I know it's confusing because you guys don't know where I was, but here, I'm just going to show you quickly so you can see what I have done so far, so you can get some kind of comprehension. I usually send this to Barbie at the end, and she's the one who organized all of these things, right? So here it's going to hold, and so I am done with Aries, I'm done with Gemini, I'm done with Cancer, I'm done with Leo, I'm done with Scorpio, I'm done with Sagittarius, I'm done with Aquarius, I'm done with Pisces, and I'm done with pick a card 1. And then when we get to pick a card 2, then mods get their own cards, right? Only. So just wait. Aquarius we read. It was the first. Happy birthday, Aquarians. And the next. And next, we got Taurus. So let's see. Que pasa with Taurus? Taurus. Oops. And we have the Hermit. You want to isolate. You have tons of cards. You have Ace of Pentacles, and you have reversed. You have 7 of Cups reversed, and you have 9 of Pentacles reversed. Now that's really interesting. So there are 9 like a bookends over here. And also there is a 1 and 9. You want lots of things to happen. Like you have a vision of how things need to revolve, but it's not going to happen this way. You're kind of like a little bit uncertain about the direction that you really want to take. It's interestingly enough, 9 of Pentacles, it means that you're coming to the space where you're really happy, that you're really kind of like dealing with, like wherever you are, just everybody leaves me alone. Almost like kind of gives me that, leave me alone. I'm just happy where I am. I don't need anything. A little bit of almost like a prickly situation over here. Interestingly enough, the Hermit is like really, really penetrating through this reading. I don't know, it's not that you're being lonely. You're almost like insisting on kind of like being alone. And now you're getting 3 cards. You're getting Love reversed, you're getting a Doctor, and you're getting a Scholar reversed over here. So clearly, you're not in a mood for love. And that's, by the way, a great romantic movie. It's Chinese. Imagine that. I'm recommending you Chinese love story, but it's freaking amazing. Really amazing. You guys will not regret if you watch this. I think I recommended it to Chris. It's kind of like something. I love the music in the movie as well. So let's get a rune here as well, so we can kind of like get a better idea. Whoa, and this is called Ice. It's the rune of danger. This is the rune number 11. So it's really talking about maybe something about your mental kind of like approach, your maybe health. This Isa always talks about the iceberg. So this iceberg is really flowing, and it doesn't look very dangerous, but it's going to just kill you, everything that kind of like goes in it, right? It doesn't have reversal, so it's extremely dangerous going both ways, right? um, this really talks about patience. So there is like one sign that has patience. So from the fixed signs, you have Leo and Aquarius, not very patient, and the other side, Scorpio and Taurus, very patient. So there's like something that you do have actually in abundance. Right now, like you are binding your time over something, and you know the time is on your side, right? So this iceberg is unstoppable rune, right? It's almost like can be an icicle, which icicle can come down and really kill you, right? But just like a glacier that I told you about, it possesses a lack of speed. So it just moves, but it moves slowly. It's huge, right? It's literally kind of like moving the mountain allegory, right? So if you kind of have a specific thing in mind that you want things to happen, then you know those events are going to take their own sweet time. They're not going to happen how you want it, how you want it. So this can be really worrisome if somebody who is cross listening this with kind of like trying to get Taurus to come around. This person is going to realize this is something that is really, really difficult, right? Because it's somebody being icy cold or cold hearted, and it's maybe cooling affection that is really happening. Somebody really, really wants to be left alone, right? So kind of like high expectations are going to come to nothing. You guys are just not interested. But this is also telling me there is a need for doctor. There's like something that needs to be checked in, because you get a doctor and the scholar together, and the scholar is reversed, right? Just like as I had previously, Dr. Holland said, oh my goodness, this all, ugh. And guess what? Imagine, like my dad is calling me right now from me reading Taurus. This is really crazy. I'm sorry about it. I'm turning off the phone. It's just like crazy. There's like Mercury retrograde happening right now. So the doctor is always talking about needing to get fixed. And it's funny, my dad also needs to go to see a doctor and he's refusing. Kind of like that I'm seeing this right in the cards, right? But this is the upright card. So basically means there are people who can help you, the people who can give you advice and what remedies needed, and it's going to be helpful and will resolve the problem. But there is a scholar that's kind of like not listening. So this, for example, in my dad's case, can be interpreted he doesn't want to get vaccine. He qualifies and he can get vaccine in the first wave. We have 3 stages. He can get it right away. No, he doesn't want it. Like I cannot step in, I cannot get it for him, so it means he's putting me in jeopardy as well as a result. So guys, if you're Taurus or dealing with Taurus, there's like some kind of like a situation over here that is really taking place. There's some kind of like remedy, and there's like somebody who just basically it's either kind of like illogical or there's like some kind of nonsense. Of course, my dad has dementia, and I'm not expecting that everybody here is going to have dementia, but there's like going to be something that is not logical. It is something very impractical, or there's a lack of preparation for something. So I also think that in some cases over here, the person thinks they can do certain things, but they don't have enough skills. They don't have enough preparation. So they're kind of like thinking Dunning-Kruger syndrome. They're thinking of themselves higher than they are. And simply there is like some chilling in the air, and I don't know why it is. Do we have any Tauruses over here that somebody can tell me how this reflects, if at all? That would really, really help. So, all right, so I put it 2 together. I want to separate them. The next one. So what, we have 3 left. Did I put Taurus? And of course I didn't put Taurus over here. 729. And now I'm all confused. Oh, that's because it was a different reading. What was before Taurus? It was Cancer. Okay, so we are going to do it this way. What a bloody mess over here. So Barbie, email goes to you automatically when I click on it, but I'm going to work on it and rework on it, so we have a video 1, video 2. We will see how this really appears in the end. You know, Barbie is basically the one who is going to suffer because of it the most. So you shouldn't feel bad for me. You should feel bad for Barbie because she does such a freaking fantastic job and always kind of like pulls this timestamps together and put this like really attractive icon. So if you can, give her like, I mean, round of applause so we can kind of like acknowledge the hard work that she has. So Capricorns, guys, you are next. Capricorns, Capricorns, Capricorns. Yeah, Barb. Yeah, Barb. Don't worry, I'm not going to let you hanging. Like it's -10 outside. I'm not running. Ooh, you have Ace of Cups. And then you have 10 of Swords. And then this one went to come through. Whew. This is heavy. I was just so happy when I see this Ace of Cups. And then you have the 10 of Swords and 2 of Swords. So this is all together coming to several combinations, because this can be seen like this, right, or can be together. So either 12 or 13. That is seen numerologically. 12 is the Hangman, 13 is death. So 12 means needing to see something from somebody else's perspective and understanding something from somebody else's perspective and being willing to be in a situation as such, right? That is really, really important. But there's like some kind of decision you're trying to make. You're feeling, even though maybe there's like something that you want, that there's like not a possibility of this happening, because you're going from emotional to overly analytical and you're kind of like killing it. There's like something that just kind of like cannot flourish. Ooh. And you're getting Priest, of course, which is confirming it. It's kind of like, you know, something is not good on a paper, and because of that, things are kind of like really percolating in your head. It almost like sometimes when you want to be negative, then we are just simply negative, even though this is a rune of progress. So this is like really connecting to that, right? So there is like a thought of some progress that is kind of like falling flat on face, and no progress is really, really happening. 10 of Swords is not necessarily horrible card. 10 of Swords talks about, it's almost like a 1, right? So we have 1, 1, and 2, right? 10 is like 1 and 0. So 0 still means there is a karmically something that is really brewing. That karmically things need to kind of like sit well before you get this final kind of like message, right? Final kind of like understanding. So Priest is always connecting with the sense. So it's kind of like going from something that just started to bud, it kind of like ended up kind of like flopped, difficulties of some sort, it kind of like came in a way. There is like, I mean, a hurdle that kind of has been encountered of some sort. It's a neutral card. Like, I mean, when you go with a Priest, this is kind of like, as I told you, the rune of progress. And it's kind of like something that takes courage. It's something that takes planning. And I think this was kind of intention, but this intention fell flat on its face, right? Because it's almost like that something that happens doesn't feel that it sits right, right? Remember how I said it to somebody else who had this Priest? I said, look, there is like something that looks, it's okay for me to do it and it's fully legal, but it's immoral. Let's say my dad, he can cut the grass at 8 o'clock in the morning, but that's legal. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, but every freaking neighbor will hate you. And you cannot go with, I don't care. Well, you can, and then you'll be hated, and then nobody else will help you when you need help. And it's kind of like we are not one individual against the world. We are part of this mankind. We are part of this karma. So something like that, I see it over here as well. That you need to take circumstances in account. So if you catch yourself saying, well, I don't care, or I can do it anyway, just ask yourself if this is not only right, but if this is also a moral option, or it's just asking you kind of like do some kind of like self-assessment. Whenever I see the Priest card, that's what comes through. Or it can simply mean that you need to see a lawyer for some reason, and then you feel like upset or stuck for one reason or another. So, Chris, what's this all about? Usually you guys, Capricorns, you always have like a nice readings, and now this was like, ooh, it was really, really interesting. So let's see. Let's catch up with you. Kylie, I'm wondering if that's how spirit guides or angels feel trying to get their messages to us. Oh my freaking God. And I was talking about that too in the first part. I don't know what's going on. You guys are pulling my leg because I was talking about how I interpret all these visions and everything. So, my God. I'm just think like I'm getting goosebumps over here. Okay, you got groceries. Cat is here. Oh my gosh, CBO. I was talking to myself. Lovely for reading six signs. Hi, Lizzie G. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh my gosh. This is the second person that I see from their Taurus. You just came in a perfect timing. And we have Virgo and Libra left. So let's see. Let's see. Librans. Let's see what we get over here for you guys. Libra. How was the last week, Barbie? You had a kind of like tricky forecast last week. You have a Nine of Wands reversed. You have Eight of Pentacles, and this one wants to come out. You have Two of Wands. So there is like a shift in energy that I see over here, and it's kind of really interesting. Nine of Wands is kind of like a finale, but it doesn't feel like finale. You feel like that you have been doing something. There was something in your life that kind of like, it's almost like ritualistic thing that we do, that we almost do them on kind of like automatic pilot, right? And all of a sudden you're not going to feel it anymore. You're going to feel that you just want to go differently, right? Chris says, I would rather get COVID than not need to see a lawyer. Don't say so. Wow, you never know like what level of difficulties you will have with COVID, right? And that's what I was telling you in the first part about the book that I read from Tim Spector, I think. He is a professor, a medical doctor, and he was talking about this microbiome healing. And I was telling you, like, I'm actually probably doing better because of principles applied from these books. It's basically everything you knew about the food was wrong. That's the name of the book that I read. So Libras, going back to you. Sorry for going sideways a little bit. Oh, you're a lawyer, and I agree. Cute. That's the only thing. When I want to smile, it makes me cough. Ooh, you have faithfulness over here. And let me get your rune. And let's see which one you get. Ooh, there's like something different. You're getting the rune of celebration. You're getting Yera over here. So this card here is this warrior. And this warrior is kind of like going through the battles and kind of like advancing, but they are not still winning the war, right? So there is like kind of a whole bunch of stuff they need to do. But yet in this stage, when it's upright, there is a decision, you know what, we are coming to the close, certain things don't make sense, we keep doing same old, let's continue. But it is reversed. There's like not willingness to continue something. Whether there's like something that is going back and forth in your situation, that you are kind of like declaring this is a nonsense, I'm not going to do this anymore, right? And it looks to me that you are kind of like dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's. You're doing this, some kind of budgeting homework, trying to see certain things add up. And for you, I think you're deciding it's really not adding up, right? But instead of feeling sad, which you kind of anticipated, you're actually feeling, okay, this is great. I feel differently. This can also mean that even within a relationship, that sometimes there's a need for renegotiating terms. And you're just saying, look, I need somebody who's faithful. I need somebody that we have the common goals, that we kind of like are building this life together. I need somebody who is on a daily basis willing and is the same like me. If you're a homebody, you want another homebody. If you're kind of like adventurer, you want another adventurer. So there is like, you're not really going out. It's not about not being open-minded, but you're not really, it's kind of like a pragmatic understanding, right? That kind of like disagreements would minimize as kind of like a result. So there's almost like saying to yourself, you know, it's kind of like time for me to put the roots, right? You also have the dog, and they're a symbol of fidelity and loyalty and protection as well, right? You see my doggo. My doggo looks like He is a cutie pie, but like, I mean, if you just stretch an arm toward him, oh, you're so cute, and like, ah! He also kind of tear you apart. He's like, don't touch me and don't touch my mommy. So here, it is really telling me that you are setting the stage. This is what I want, and I don't care if it's going to cost me that you walk away or that I lose this job. I need to feel this way because otherwise I just get crazed out. So all of a sudden this really manifests, and there is like this feeling of fullness, of abundance, of recognition, of love, esteem, right? And there are like really no negative cards. You're just like seeing that certain ways were not really productive and that you're probably better off kind of like having these new ideas and recognizing what you are, because this rune also doesn't have a negative meaning, right? And this rune is talking about the trials and tribulations, so this clearly connecting to this 9 of Wands, right? Because it's kind of like, and I forgot which 3 runes were, but this rune really talks about something that comes to those 3 runes that I've forgotten about, that comes to for help and kind of like relief. Calvary is coming, so you see somebody coming, you're happy. That's kind of like celebration that is really really happening, right? So symbolically this also relates to August. So there's like something that might be brewing over a time, because this is also showing the process, and it's also kind of like it's really indicating spring of some sort. So if this is not literally spring, like on a calendar, this really talks about the springing into something new, action or something else, right? So you are kind of like at a major turning point in your life. There's like some security in you guys, and impact of that, impact of any misfortunes or things that really didn't go, or kind of like, or they didn't kind of like work in your favor, and now they're kind of like going to fade. You're going to feel this was not a chapter and this is a book, and you're putting this book somewhere on the shelf. You just really don't care. This is kind of like talking about success, a successful completion of a project. People are coming to you. You have loyal people, people you can trust. You know, this also can indicate sometimes in this combination, maybe move or moving in a new home. It's good news anyhow. So it's going to be some kind of like excitement, but also kind of like it's going to be a little bit of element of surprise, right? So as it doesn't have the inverse situation, it's always positive, right? But this also talks about that almost like somebody starts the time and bomb is ticking, and from this point on, January 23rd, there is going to be about a year when something really really happens, and you're going to really like it because you're going to go in a new and different direction, or something will happen. So Libra, this is a big reading for a change. So yeah, that's what happened. So yes, Barbie, you should tell us all about it, what's going on. Oh, a Libra moon, graduation Wednesday. Oh my goodness, Kylie, congrats, congrats, congrats. Wow, that's amazing. And and I didn't put Capricorn. Did I put Libra? And I didn't put Libra. Oh my goodness. So let me just try to backtrack over here. 36. And I'm going to put here 30, 28. They're going to be a little bit skewed. I know this, so I'll have to check them. But the last one is Virgo. And now I know I didn't see the time. And I kept saying, this is weird, I don't see the time. It was just saying preview, and I didn't know why it showed me preview. Thanks, YouTube. You really messed up. Congrats, Kylie. Man, you really went through it. Oh my gosh, you have the star, Virgo. You have why? 4 of Pentacles. And this one wanted to come in. You have Ace of Swords. Okay, let's get the other guys. So star, well, 13. It's also that they add to 13. This is a karma card, right? So there are like so many messages over here. So 13 is death. And that is transformation. And this kind of like is fortified with the star over here in this first position, right? So there's some transition that you are resisting, I think, and you're just holding on to something. Maybe it's going to even involve spending money, and you're saying, nope, I don't want to spend money, not a time, not a place. You're holding it to yourself. But the truth is that for you, as long as it's done before Mercury retrograde on the 30th, so that's for this week, certain things can be very, very beneficial to be done, because this is also erecting walls. Something is happening that is going very, very fast over here. Well, you're getting the young woman. I really don't know how this relates. Maybe you have a daughter, maybe you have a coworker, somebody who is younger than you. Generally, when I do the entire grand tableau with the gypsy cards, young woman can represent somebody who is, let's say, younger lover, right, if you wish, or something, right? But it clearly would be somebody younger than you. Could be, daughter, sister, cousin, or damsel in distress, something. But it's also kind of like character-wise, somebody who is sweet and well-mannered and polite, right? But somebody who also needs to mature a little bit, right? So that to me can tell me that maybe kind of like, even though that you're not going to be in a situation where you will not want to move, you will not want to kind of like open up to kind of like dealing with that, right? Because this card can represent either a person or a situation. So with person, it's self-explanatory, but situation, it's kind of like that certain things need to grow, that your understanding of a situation, you're making decision, and they are premature decisions, so hence still kind of like allow certain things to get somewhere. And then your rune is Ottilia. It's the rune of authority over here. And I think that authority is possibly you, even though the Ace of Swords always talks about winning of some sort. It's a karma card for that reason. It also, because of the sword nature, we have two blades, right? It means that you need to cut certain things in you. So you need to kind of like reassess certain things in yourself, and also certain things on the outside. So you are going to prematurely possibly render a kind of like some decision, because this rune is like in Lenormand, the tower, right? It indicates kind of traditions become more valuable in life, and we're talking about christenings and engagements and marriages, right? And also dealing with wills and family property. Maybe you need to decide something about inheritance. Maybe you're telling other person, no, we are not going to talk about it, I want you to be well. And that's foolish, because certain things need to kind of like be put in order. This can signify inheritance, but it's not material inheritance. You're not going to get money, sorry to disappoint. It's going to be something that's going to be some kind of like really memento, which is going to really connect you to your ancestors. I remember I had a coworker who was rather rich, and she attended this wedding, and I guess they expected that she's going to do her cover fees plus something. Instead, she had a big envelope, kind of formal thing. She's an accountant. And she was telling me this, not even realizing that I'm picturing this whole situation and almost like if positioning myself in there, right? So she gave them the old cookbook, right? That was like in the family for I don't know how many years, I think over like 150 years, and handwritten and falling apart, and they didn't appreciate it at all. She says, oh my gosh, this is so valuable, they didn't appreciate it. It's just kind of like something like that could be just transferred over here. So it could also mean that you are the younger woman and you need to advise, let's say, from older people or from experienced professionals, somebody who is better than you are, right? And maybe you're asking yourself also kind of like, what would this situation do in this situation, right? Maybe that's kind of like you're thinking what my mom would do, what my dad would do, kind of like that's really important, because this is kind of like about heritage, and this is about origins. There's like something that is falling in place and that you're really, really connecting. So that's going to be really, really interesting. So over here, so oh, you did go to the Taurus, okay. Okay, good to hear. Sorry, Lizzie, she's just telling me about Taurus. So this is getting us to make a wish, guys, section. And then we'll cross my fingers, and I don't know how much is this going to be uploaded, or is it uploaded in chunks. If it is, then I have, I believe, both recordings, and I hope. So let's do the pick a card 2, 49, 42, and just give me a second. I can already ship it to Barbie in a few seconds. Oh, I just love Rocketbook, guys. If you're a person who always kind of like writes notes, because I always get some ideas, this is freaking ideal. Really ideal. Okay. And believe it or not, this is already sent to Barbie. But right now, let me cover the screen over here. And Barbie, you know, I'm going to look into that, so don't worry about this. I'm going to sort it out for you. So guys, 3 more doors. So just ask yourself a question, yes or no, more or less, even though you know I elaborate a little bit. So let's go. All right, so door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. All right, so let me remove this. And you're seeing lots of doors at number 3. So number 1 is 6 of Swords, a bridge over troubled waters. So there's like something that you feel like you need your peace of mind, that you kind of like want better. You just are not settling anymore. You don't want the same. So this basically talks about destination. It doesn't talk about reaching the final goal, but it's telling you like you should go toward it. It's encouraging you, and usually the outcome is positive, but this is still telling that it's going to be just a process and progress, and process and progress, but not necessarily is promising you that this is what's going to happen, because after all, he's kind of like going in this boat. He has the 6 swords. You know it's going to sink, right? And if the water is too cold to swim in it, hypothermia and whatnot, right? But and you don't know if in the other shore is actually going to be better than it was. But the hopefulness is just a change of ambience, or something is going to kind of like be beneficial, kind of a thing, or something needs to be done for certain things to be accomplished. The door number 2 is Ace of Swords. So this is a resounding yes. You need to do some sacrifices for this to happen, but somebody else is also going to do sacrifices. Is going to feel that this is a mutual, there's like some kind of strength, and it's going to happen really quickly, like maybe today, kind of a thing, right? And the door number 3 is 10 of Wands. So somebody said it was door number 3. Was it you, Kylie? Yeah. So 10 of Wands is interesting. Generally, in a general Rider-Waite, traditional Rider-Waite deck, this would be no, but not in this deck. In this deck, this doesn't look like such a big burden to him. And he's not just like a peasant. He is somebody who is a royalty, who is well done. So there is some kind of like, there is some kind of chip on the shoulder, clearly, that is really happening over here. Somebody has a chip on the shoulder. Somebody thinks a little bit kind of like, there's like somebody who is really well off, as it's kind of like shown in this card, and somebody who is like really turning back. But just because they're turning back doesn't mean you can kind of like come ahead, because they will have ability to listen to you. You still have to be a little bit alert about this card, because you don't know everything about the situation. The situation is moving forward, but you can still down the road expect surprises. So let's see what happens about that. Wow, look at this. We had 2 hours and you only heard half an hour out of all of that. So what was this? That was the last one. Virgo, yes, that we read. So what I'm going to do now, mods, you're going to get your cards and messages. You did get cards before, but now you have to watch and listen and to see what's up with that. So that's going to be really, really crazy. So let's see. Now I have to go back in order of appearance to see. Was 3 yes or no? 3 was tricky. It's a yes, but it's saying that things are going to shift. and there's still not enough knowledge of everything, kind of like to put everything in perspective. But initial stage will be yes. All right. So I think the very first one was Nitin Yogi, and you are getting education. There's like something that you'll study, that's something you will want, and it's going to make you feel very good. But I also kind of like think it could be you who is going to educate somebody. You're going to kind of like render your advice, and it's going to be really, really helpful. So be in the right time, in the right place to do that, right? Then I see here Barbie, and this is what I got. Tenderness. Kind of like somebody's going to draw the best out of you, or literally could be a kitty cat that you're going to adopt or feed or something. It's going to be a really, really good feeling that's going to make you and somebody else feel really, really good. So that's kind of like awesome. Then I see Chris over here. And Chris, you have a joy. It's going to joy and love. There's like some kind of like really jumping out of joy, kind of like a feeling over here. It's lovely. It's kind of like good to have like this fulfilling positive energy. So that's kind of like a great. And Kylie, power. Kylie, this is your diploma. Somebody is really rendering this to you, giving you, anointing you. You're going to feel like somebody put a crown on your head, like an upcoming message. At least that's how I see it. And Madame Lorna H. Lorna H is openness. Open yourself to the universe because the energy wants to flow your way. It's just like something is blocked. So this is really telling you just need to allow certain things to happen, right? And who else do I have? We did Barbie. We did Lorna H. Did I do Chris? I did Chris. Kylie needing a CBO music over here. CBO music. Understanding. Oh, something is going to start to sit well for you, I think, and it's going to really work well that way, and it's going to be something that you kind of like need to process in your own head for things to kind of like really move forward. And I think this is it over here from what I see, right? No, I'm just checking, just making sure. Here is me trying to restart a zillion of times and not hearing you, but let's see. Did I miss somebody, guys? Lift your hand if you did, because I cannot read to everything. I think this is it. I think this is all it was. Oh, cool, taking a Scorpio to the beach today. Well, enjoy it. So guys, let me try to deal with this fallout of this YouTube issues and help Barbie to create a mess. Want to see also what's going to show up when I disconnect. You guys have a great week. And the next time I'm still going to see you in January. It's going to be the 30th. It's going to be Mercury retrograde. So I need to prepare for this crap times 10. So recording and stuff. And if I don't show up on time, please don't panic. You are like beyond patient. I really, really adore you for this. But next week is going to be something like that as well to be expected. So guys, I love you. You kind of like have a great, great, great week. And let me just play some music for you. Like, where is my collection of the stuff that I play? So let's do the same thing. I absolutely love this happy music over here and happy life. And then guys, next time I see you is the 30th. So be well. Just make sure that you watch the first part because it was some really, really good messages there. Love you, love you, love you all. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye. that comes up. So let me kind of